Hey everyone. So today, we're going to talk about something you're probably using this very second without even realizing it. It's a really clever tool that helps unlock some of our most important technology. It's called a patent pool, and it's basically the ultimate solution to one of modern innovation's biggest headaches.
But first, to really get why patent pools are so important, we have to talk about the problem they were designed to fix. So imagine this. You're an inventor, you've got a world-changing idea, but the second you try to build it, bam, you hit a massive, super frustrating traffic jam.
So what's causing this gridlock, right? I mean, we live in this age of incredible technology. So why does actually creating something new sometimes feel almost impossible?
Well, the reason is something called a patent thicket, and that name is perfect. Think of it like a super dense jungle. If you want to build any complex product today, let's say a smartphone, you have to use dozens, maybe even hundreds of different little technologies. And guess what? Each one of those tiny pieces is often protected by a patent and owned by a totally different company.
Trying to hack your way through this thicket is, well, it's a nightmare. It means you're stuck in endless, super extensive negotiations with countless different patent holders. The paperwork alone is just huge, and you're constantly worried about getting hit with a lawsuit for accidentally infringing on someone's patent. So what's the result? Progress just slows to a crawl. Great ideas get stuck in that traffic jam.
But what if there was a way to clear a path right through that whole jungle, with just a single tool? Well, this is where the solution gets really elegant.
And that solution is the patent pool. It's actually a pretty simple idea. It's just an agreement where a bunch of different patent holders all decide to throw their essential patents together into one single package. You can think of it like a one-stop shop for innovation.
And this comparison really says it all. On the left, you've got the old way, slow, complicated, and super expensive. But on the right, with the patent pool, you get one single all-access pass to everything you need. The whole process just becomes simple and streamlined.
So what does that actually mean in the real world? Let's break down the huge advantages that patent pools bring to the table for, well, pretty much everyone.
Okay, first up, and this one is a biggie, simplicity. Instead of trying to manage a whole mountain of different licensing agreements, an innovator can just get one license from the pool, and they're done. This just massively cuts down on all the legal headaches and complexity.
And when things get simpler, they usually get cheaper. Just think about all the time and money that was being spent on lawyers and these long, drawn-out negotiations. By putting it all in one place, patent pools just slash those costs, which makes everything more efficient for both the inventors and the patent holders. All right, the next one is absolutely crucial: speed. When innovators aren't stuck in some legal maze, they can actually focus their time and energy on what they're good at: inventing things. It clears the runway, basically, letting new products get developed and out to the market so much faster. And finally, there's safety in numbers. For the companies using the patents, they can relax knowing they have all the proper rights, so the risk of getting sued goes way down. And for the patent holders, the pool acts like a collective defense, sharing the burden of any legal fights. It really just lowers the risk for everybody involved.
Okay, so this all sounds pretty amazing, right? But it's not always a simple walk in the park. Putting together a successful patent pool actually comes with its own set of pretty big challenges that have to be handled really, really carefully.
So here are the main hurdles. First, you've got antitrust concerns. Regulators are always watching to make sure these pools don't act like monopolies that just fix prices and block out new players. Next, there's patent valuation. How do you get a bunch of competing companies to agree on what each of their patents is actually worth? It's incredibly hard. That often requires bringing in neutral third-party experts to figure it out. And that leads right to the next problem. How do you split up the money? You have to figure out a fair way to distribute all the licensing fees among the members based on that valuation. And finally, you have to watch out for free riders, companies that might try to benefit from the technology standard that the pool creates without contributing any of their own patents.
So, with all those challenges, you might be asking, why do companies even bother? Let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture, because that's where you see the massive strategic value that these pools create.
This quote really hits the nail on the head. See, it's not just about licensing some patents. It's about shaping the entire future of an industry. If your company is part of a pool that's defining a new standard, think about something like 5G. You immediately establish yourself as a major player and get a serious competitive edge.
So what's the takeaway here? It means that patent pools are pretty much the engines running behind the technologies we use every single day. They're what allow for industry standards like Wi-Fi that make all our gadgets work together. They make individual patents more valuable, they boost revenue,
And maybe most importantly, they create this space where competitors can actually collaborate to push technology forward for all of us. And for us, the consumers, that means we get better, more affordable products faster.
And that really leaves us with a fascinating final thought. You know, as our technology gets more and more complex and interconnected, maybe that old model of just fierce head-to-head competition doesn't make as much sense anymore. The patent pool shows us that in this new world, maybe the biggest winners won't be the fiercest competitors, but the best collaborators. Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.